Hey, this is Sam Stone with CBR here at New York Comic Con 2022 with the cast and crew of The Winchesters premiering on the CW on October 11th. Guys, thanks for taking the time to speak with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Drake, Meg, you have the benefit of knowing your characters' codas. We know where John and Mary go. How is it filling in the stanzas leading up to the end of their song?
No, you go first.
Yeah, it's an honor, honestly, more than anything. It's been so cool, and yeah, like everything is laid. Sorry, we know where our characters go, so it's really cool to get to deconstruct like Sam and Dean's characters to kind of figure out like the little nuances of how we get there. So that's been a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah, I agree. It's
I agree.
it's been so incredible, and it's such an honor to step into these iconic characters and kind of play them as like younger, so you can kind of see how they grow old together, how they meet. So it's really awesome. Yeah.
Jensen, I'm glad to see Dean alive and well again, you know, given the last time we saw him. How cathartic is it to come back to the character of Dean Winchester, and what did you want to explore as the narrator and executive producer with Daniil on this gig?
I mean, look, it's putting on the most comfortable, pair of shoes. Those boots have been well worn in, and so anytime I get to put those suckers back on and go sit in the Impala and smell that old '67 smell, it's always fun. So to be able to do that and to have that and to be able to tell a little bit more of this story is something I feel like not only did I want, but I felt like there was certainly an audience for that. Even though the show Supernatural is not over, I say it's been put on pause. It's now given us an opportunity to kind of explore different parts of that world, and that's what I'm really excited about, seeing these two guys step into these roles and step into this world and give it a new fresh take, a new fresh look, and hear these characters come to life has been really great and satisfying.
And, to kind of build on the Chevy Impala analogy, how is it having a hand on the wheel as the executive producer and kind of, taking it from the Sister Joel role to go behind the camera?
It's been great. My hand is always on this wheel, and that's why it turns and makes lefts and rights. But it's
This is true. Yeah.
No, it's been really fun, and we've just found such a great partner. And Robbie Thompson. I mean, when we looked back to figure out, okay, who can write this and really write it. I mean, there was only one choice, and this team that we have, it's been really incredible.
Yeah. Robbie, you've been part of the Supernatural world before. I mean, you've got such a fertile period in the 1970s with this. What was it about the period and this particular stage in like John and Mary's lives that you found so like creatively rich to dive into?
When Daniil and Jensen reached out to me and told me what the idea was, like just the sheer amount of mustaches that we would have on the show, I was like already in, and the fact that I wouldn't have to have cell phones ruining everything, or like the inexplicable Winchester Wi-Fi that was always running, no matter where they were in the world.
An amazing signal on the mothership.
But I always felt that there was a lot more. When I left Supernatural in season 11, they had just brought Mary back, and Mary was one of my, I think, the most interesting characters because she had wanted to leave and had also not told John, the reality of what she had experienced her whole life. That decision and the desire for someone that was raised in that world to want to leave was really interesting to me. And then on the John side of it, we'd always depicted his trauma as coming from Vietnam, but as we saw in later seasons, from his perspective, he was abandoned by his dad when he was 4. And that just felt like two people that, in the sort of star-crossed lover sense, would have a lot both in common and also a lot that would push them both together and apart. And it just felt like that was something that we could really explore for years and years.
Let's talk about that star-crossed love. Like, how do you guys remember meeting for the first time? And because there's a lot of love in the Supernatural world. Like,
By the way,
Tell us about that, Meg.
We have it on tape.
Yeah, that's right. We have it recorded.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape. It was a great first time. Do you want to tell the story?
No, I feel like it's your story.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
If only they had chemistry. It's really sad.
yeah, it's horrible. No, the first time that we met was in a chemistry read, and it was our first chemistry read, and you were
On Zoom.
On Zoom, yeah, and you were on set for High School Musical, the musical, the series. No, so we met, and we had just done, I think, like our first scene, and they do this thing apparently. We found out now.
So on the Zoom, this is like the only great thing I think about it is like we're like, yeah, we'll get right back to you guys, and then we have a text chain, and we just like mute our cameras and mute the, and then we're like, you guys, what do you think? But then these two chuckle bunnies start talking to one another, and then like that's when the real chemistry read happened. It was amazing. It was
Yeah.
really, really cool.
It's
I
like
was
a-
like, can we send this?
Yeah. So, and long story short, Meg ended up asking me out on a date.
No, I
To New
didn't.
York, the first time that we met.
I just was like, have you ever been to New York? He was like, no. So I was like, well, we should go sometime, and I'll show you
Date.
around.
Also, like asking
Date.
someone out in Los
Game.
Angeles to go with you to New York is a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if that strategy
worked.
works.
Big
out.
It worked
first
well.
date.
On that note, here in New York, that's all the time we got.
Manifestation.
I'm Sam Stone here with CBR at New York Comic Con 2022 with the cast and crew of the Winchesters again on the CW October 11th. Guys, thanks again for taking the time.
Thank you so
Sam.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.